bass on it. What we got? Yeah, another little white bass. Settle down, buddy. Look at that. Them are a ton of fun. Yeah, Tosh is on one. Look at that. That's a little nice one, ain't it? Got a little size to him. Good morning, anglers. Welcome to this week's Indian Lake Fishing Report, brought to you by Mike's Bait and Tackle, Route 235, Lakeview, Ohio. Today's current water temperature is 71 degrees, with a warm front moving in on Sunday. This week's report is for the week of September 10th, 2021. First of all, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to everyone that hosted me. Dave and Jody, Tosh and Angie. You guys made my weekend, my 5-day outdoor adventure, something that I won't soon forget. I had a great 5 days down there of fishing, and a big thanks goes out to Mike at Mike's Bait and Tackle for outfitting me with everything I needed to have a successful weekend, 5 days, a great holiday out on the lake. I just wanted to say I love my new ACC crappie stick that's paired with a Shang-a-Lang reel. That thing is so smooth, so light, you won't believe it. I picked up the 8-foot one. Mike outfitted me with it. It's feather light, and man, oh man, I'm in love. Check this out, folks. Come with a nice little carrying case, which I don't have on me right at this second. But here's the reel that it got paired with. That thing's just smoking hot. I broke it in well. Folks, I'm happy to report that hot bite is firing up. Those 5 days I spent down there, I fished all around the lake, catching big mixed bags. I caught a lot of perch, sawguy, bluegill, some crappie, and catfish. Things are great. These water temperatures are going to start decreasing within a week or two. All the crappie and sawguy are going to start coming up into them channels, and things are really going to be on fire. Those flatheads are still being caught around the lake, and mainly around the islands. But let me give you a little word of advice, or a little tip. You know that big catfish, the yearly event that they have, is held at Moundwood. And they hold it at that shelter house. That's the weigh-in point. Okay? So after they get done weighing them in at Moundwood, they're released right there at Moundwood. So Moundwood in that area, in the channel, or out on the lake, should be a hot spot at some point there for flathead. Anglers, it's time to get out those swim baits. That sawguy bite's hot. They're still catching them on jerk baits. And these swim baits work well, man. Get your big Joshies or whatever you want, whatever your favorite one is. I like pairing mine up with a chatterbait. Makes a killer combination I also like taking a curly tail grub and pairing it up with a chatterbait. Folks, right now that hot bite is on for the perch. Those 5 days that I was there, I caught them all around the lake. I caught them on worms, just tip a little jig under a bobber with a piece of worm. I also used wax worms to tip the jig. I also used some minnows. I also used a bare jig. I caught them throwing out into the main lake. I caught them up against seawalls at about 2.5, 3 foot deep. In the channels, I was going about 3.5, 4 foot deep out in the center, and even up against the bank about a foot out. That fall bite, I'm telling you, get those poles restrung, folks. It's coming. They're still catching nice sized bluegill back at Dunn's Pond area. And I'll tell you what, I saw some of the biggest bluegill come out of a channel last Saturday that I've seen in a long time. And I'll tell you what, time of the day seems to be key. It seems to be early in the morning and about 6 o'clock at night or so, right when the sun's starting to go over. They're coming into the channels or coming up from wherever they're at, and they're hitting, and they were bigger than hand size. So play around there, and if you like fishing all day, get out in the morning and then come back out in the evening if you're looking for gills. Some sizable crappie are being caught at night, early evenings, with minnows on a slip bobber, a small jig. The white bass, I'll tell you what, man. Made a trip down the Dream Bridge, and I don't know if you watched that video. If you watched that video, comment down below. Man, we love your comments. If you didn't watch it, it was a video right before this one. Go check it out. Man, we was just having a ton of fun just slaughtering them white bass. They're a lot of fun. And we was using worms on a jig. We was just using a small little jig, like a 1/32. I was using a hand-tied jig, a gold hand-tied jig from Mike's, and I believe Tosh was using some Casey Patton jigs. And it didn't matter what the depth was on it. I mean, if you was leaving your bobber set, a couple feet, 3 feet or so, the main thing was they'll hit anything that hits the top of the water when they're coming through. So be prepared, if you're bobber fishing and you're leaving something set, have your extra pole sitting there and ready with maybe one of these curly tail grubs. The white works well. Personally, myself, I like this salt and pepper Fat Albert. It works well for me on just about anything. Whether you pair it up as a trailer or just on a 1/4 ounce jig head, smokes them. The game reserve, it's producing some mixed bags. You're getting crappie and perch out of there, and a few saugeye. Channel cat, they're being caught, off the bank or on the boat. There's a lot of great spots that are open down there, folks. Just pick one and have fun. Go to the islands. If you're not familiar with the lake, just take a trip out there past Moundwood, keep going, and have yourself a new adventure. There's a few island parks out there. Pew Island right there. And before you walk back to Pew Island, there's a boat dock there, and a boat ramp. That's pretty clean, deep water there. You can get some nice bluegill out of there too, and some mixed bags. So the bass are being caught all around the lake. Use a topwater frog, spinner baits, pitching docks. There was a bass tournament last weekend also, and they done well. I've seen a lot of nice bass come out of there. Another tip I keep, and I'm not trying to sell these. I don't even think Mike carries them. I'm not sure, but I keep a $1.98 bottle of these crappie bites in my pocket. There's a ton of them in there. Every once in a while, last weekend, I'd switch up to these. Hit crappie, bluegill, small bass, perch. Man, everything bites on them. They smell. Can't beat it. $1.98, man, you got a pocket full of bait all the time on you. You know, especially if you run out of minnows or waxworms or something. These things last. I have very good luck on them. Mike accused me last night of lowering the water level down there about 2 inches. But folks, mainly I threw all my fish back. They're catch and release. This fall, I probably will stock up on some perch or crappie or something, saugeye. Have a little fish fry. But we made a lot of friends, new friends this weekend. We ran into a lot of people while we was filming. I've got a lot of other film that I could edit and make a bunch of videos out of. I just haven't gotten to it yet. If you see us out and about filming or something, man, make sure you stop and say hi. Hell, join in with us. The more the merrier. Until next week, be safe. Tight lines.